and why people need to take care and take note of what's happening within our communities. This is a group that particularly looks and marginalizes the experiences of women in our cities and in our communities, the violence that our family members experience, that our children experience. Particularly, they defend rape, they defend incest, they defend violence against children, and we do not want any of this on campus. We do not want any of this in our city, and quite frankly, we are very frustrated and physically have been attacked today as a response of our frustration with having these groups hosted on our campus. So we want an explanation as to why they were allowed to be on our campus. We want an explanation from our administration that let these groups be here on our campus to host this hateful event, and that has clearly resulted in dozens of students and community members getting attacked physically by the police here today.
Now, is this a student group, or like is this a group that's part of U of T? Or?
I've heard they're called the Men's Issues Awareness U of T. I've heard that they are affiliated with have a group status on campus, which I find very upsetting and actually very shocking that this group would be recognized as a group of the university, particularly when we see their very hateful agenda towards women and children. And so it's very frustrating that this is the case. And I think it's actually just a front for a broader attack on the rights of women and children and marginalized people within our community. So I would say it's a front for a broader group and attack. No problem.
Wait, what's your name?
Danny, D-A-N-I. That's my name. Oh yeah, I love
We're here at the end. What happened earlier?
There had been a blockade in front of the door by protesters with banners to prevent the entry in the beginning of the event. Police entered circling around the crowd and then going straight in through and trying to go through the blockade on the doors and physically moved people. Some people were punched, some people were pushed into other people and
How many
shoved out of the
people?
way. There's at least 20 people or more. 20 people or more. I unfortunately didn't get a photo of that. They started then using their bikes to move the crowd further away from the doors and create a perimeter around the doors.
Okay.
There were also previous altercations at other doors.
So it seems to be winding up now. Police have left.
Well, some of them left.
Some, yeah.
There were also a lot of police horses on the other side as well.
Okay. So this is just one big mess.
Yep.
Maybe just very briefly, who was actually here?
The actual event. I think actually someone else might be slightly best to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got Dina talking a little bit earlier, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So QED.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
It's really exhilarating.
That's what I want to do with my life.
What is this for?
I'm going to put that on YouTube, what I recorded earlier. So I just got Dina speaking and the other lady speaking, and I just took the picture of the cops, and that's all.